Thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate Kelly at Fondi Famous for helping us out with this video here. We're celebrating 50 years, and it's been an exciting 50 years. It's a 50 years since really 1974. We're going to talk about some of the changes that we've seen in the industry, and hopefully it takes you down memory lane, and it might kind of cause you to think about some of the things that that you experienced maybe in your work lives or personal lives back 50 years ago. So I'm here with two of our veteran agents, Peter Bellender and Chris Carls. And thanks for joining us, guys. I think the first thing we want to dive into is, what is it like when we get that file from 1974 and we're peeling back the folder? Some of the papers are a little yellow and the writing is even blurred. What does that look like?
So when I started 15 years ago, we had files. They would be 3 inches thick, and I had all handwritten quotes, all the applications, half page. The agent had to do math instead of letting the computer do the math. The information that was needed back then was half a quarter of what it is today. With all the analytics that they can pull from the systems, the technology is just absolutely amazing. Makes our jobs easier, mostly harder. It can vary so much. We have to put all this information in the system now, and we don't do any of the rating. It's all in the system.
And the companies run so many reports in the background and things like that. There's a lot of times we get incorrect information, and sometimes we get correct information, but we then have to weed through it with our customers to determine what needs to be in the quote so they get the proper rate.
Well, even like the MVRs, they used to have to go pull the MVRs and pay for them, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where that's all done online.
Yeah, done online. And gone are the days when we can get when we have a speeding ticket and it not be picked up by an insurance carrier. Those days are behind us, aren't they?
They find them pretty quick.
All right.
Sometimes within a month.
Yeah, right. It doesn't take very long. Everything is so instantaneous. How about rating? I know the rating has changed quite a bit, and when I open up some of these files, I see some like charts. And can you guys comment on that a little bit?
I open up older files and I see charts, and I'll be honest, since I've been in the insurance agent industry, everything's been done online. But yeah, these charts it's like minus a percentage for this, add $25 for that, and then here's your rate. And I'm like, I just can't fathom that, because now everything is done on websites, on a computer, so it's very different.
We joke in meetings that twin brothers could live across the street from each other, same vehicle, same house, same everything, and the rates are totally different. Where 40 years ago, it was the exact same rate for that 40-year-old male married. It was the same rate, where now it could be totally different because all of the variables in insurance now.
Yeah, I remember a couple of previous agents told me that, I used to be able to get a rate with a little bit of simple math in 5 minutes and I was done. And it was relatively easy to calculate. And now there's so many variables that all carriers are taking into consideration. It's, one underwriter told me that today it would take a whole day to do a manual calculation to get a rate. So I guess the rates, the carriers would tell us that the rates are more individualized and as a result more fair. That's what they would say, but it's definitely a change with the technology that's come about. How about in terms of how we've changed in terms of technology? What are your guys' thoughts on where we used to be to where we are now?
Ever since 2020, and we had been forced to go paperless, and that's hard because some of us still like paper. But what's changed is the fact that when we used to go on vacation for a week, come back to a stack of files that we have to look through that probably, no lie, were that high. And so now it's just an activity report, and we just go through that every day instead. So that has definitely changed.
At the old office, we had just walls of cabinets, all full files. And now when we walk through the office, there's not many files anymore. Everything's paperless. and back to 2020 when we had to learn how to do everything from our laptops from home and still helping our clients. The one thing that's never changed is the fact that we don't have voicemail. You call the agency, anybody that calls, anybody that answers can answer your questions and give sound insurance advice. And that's one thing that will never change.
Yeah. And, back in 1974, when Bernie started the agency, they wanted, to your point, they wanted agents to be available, licensed agents, to answer questions. And when you call our office today, you get a licensed agent. That's something that I think differentiates ourselves, from really our competitors. And it's a credit to our staff here because they spend a lot of time in continuing their education, in learning the ins and outs of insurance, and some would find it boring. We find it interesting, but that's really to help our clients when they call in.
We don't have a secretary. We have CSRs, customer service representatives, and they are amazing. They're an amazing team. This place runs because of them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And in terms of the contracts, when we look at just a home auto or just a simple business policy, how complicated the contracts have become.
Well, people are going, with the online companies, not knowing what they're actually getting. That's where an agent like us, an independent insurance agent, comes into play. Is we do go through the continuing education. Every 2 years, we have 24 hours. We have to do ethics, and all the companies have training every couple of years, and with the Medicare and health insurance starting up today, we go through a month of training with different companies because the rules change every single year. It seems more complex than ever. That's why it's so important to have an agent like us.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, things that you can find online, and just, everybody needs an independent agent.
Is it?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I can't really add to that to make it any more impactful. Insurance is complicated. It's not getting any less complicated, unfortunately, and you need agents with the knowledge and skill to help you through that. What may seem like something simple, just a simple homeowner's policy or just a simple business owner's policy, actually can get really complicated when you get down to it.
I look back, I started 15 years ago last month, and when I first started, Tina still had the typewriter at her desk. So she was still doing stuff by hand with the typewriter or a word processor. So it's definitely changed, and from the days of cold calling, grabbing the phone book in the morning, scratching off names that were clients, and then make sure they were on a do not call list, and then spending the evening cold calling and getting the next no is closer to the next yes. Those are the days.
Yeah. Things have changed a lot in terms of how we get new business. I think it's we've always had a pretty good referral flow, but I think that's been important. But if you had two agents starting at the same time, they'd start at opposite ends of the phone book and actually cold call and talk to people about insurance. I know a lot of the agents that are now retired, they talk about the birth announcements. I mean, if you think about what was in the paper, and actually, this month we're going to post some things from some old ads, some old articles, from newspaper clips. So when you get a chance, for viewers out there, take a look at some of this stuff, and just take a trip down memory lane.
The one that was just posted yesterday with John Bester and Tim McNamara having hair.
It's pretty amazing. In fact, they had so much hair, I made sure that I got their permission before we posted it. Oh yeah. Well, go ahead, Chris.
Thanks for a great 50 years, and we're looking forward to 50 more.
Absolutely. It's been quite a fun run, and we're in this new building on the east side of town across from Aurora, 201 Wisconsin American Drive. Come on and say hi.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, when you look at some of these old files, the other piece of it is we have clients that have been here since the beginning. I mean, I talked to a client a couple months ago that said, when I was 18, 19 years old, I called Bernie Krebsbach for insurance, and he's still a client today. And I look at that, like, how cool is that? And I think that's really a testament to not only our clients and their loyalty, and we really appreciate that, because I mean, if you look, we were a small two to three person agency back in the 1970s, and now we're at about 18 employees. So we've really grown because of our clients. But also, if you look at the agents and the staff, and especially even those that are unfortunately no longer with us or have retired, they all contributed to the last 50 years. And when you think about that, I just think it's pretty cool, and it's motivating every day to come to work and know that there's a history and an expectation that we continue to uphold and move forward with.
We were all pretty lucky to have, Mark Thiel, John Bester, Tim McNamara, the Sommerfelds, Mark and Steve to mentor us when we first started. I think that goes to show that, it's a family. It's a family as well as a business. So
yeah, it is, no doubt about it. Well, thanks everyone for listening today. Hopefully you found those few items interesting. And if you have any questions or want to hear more stories from the last 50 years, just give us a call. We'd be happy to share. Thank you. Hi, I'm Tyler Weiner with McNamara Thiel Insurance. I'm an agent partner here at McNamara Thiel, and we are celebrating 50 years. Thank you for all of your continued support.